Good evening, everyone. I'm Greg Halliday, and I'm here with the one and only Kendall Bird, VP of Brand here at Solle. Kendall,
Welcome, everybody.
we're happy to be here. We've got some important things, and I think some fun things to share this evening. But before we get into them, Kendall, right to your left, we've got kind of the chat board, don't we? So, how many? We got some people on there. Feel free. Kendall's going to keep an eye on this board because we want to hear what you have to say. And as we present tonight, if there's something you want to comment on, throw it up there because Kendall, he'll take a look at it, and we love to share and make sure that we all feel our voices are heard here because we all learn from each other. So with that though, before we get going, we call this Why Solle Works, and a lot of times when we talk about Why Solle Works, we're talking about a product, and we like to show why it makes a difference in health. But tonight we are going to talk about some products, but we're going to focus on some new information. So it made me think, Kendall, one of the reasons that I think Solle works is because we make education part of what happens at Solle.
Right.
So when you think of education at Solle, are there any things, any aspects of it that come to your mind? Is it more like company derived education? Is it more leader derived? Because we learn from a lot of different people. What do you find is it kind of like turns your light bulb on?
I mean, it's everywhere. That's what I love about it. It's we have a scientific advisory board that teaches us, and we learn from that, and then we teach a lot based on what they tell Allison and Valerie and such.
Yes, we do.
And we learn so much from the field, and they're constantly. You guys are constantly educating people. It's everywhere.
It really is everywhere, and I like that. We learn from everywhere, and when we do sort of keep our ears open all around us, a lot of good things happen. So tonight we're going to share a few things that I think are a result of information and valuable insights that have come from different places. Some from some of you leading in the field. You're the ones that are actually watching it happen and being a part of that change and mentoring. And we're trying to soak it all in and pass it on here. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk about a new package. So let's just show that real quickly. This is the Healthy Weight Loss Package. Now, I love this topic because I love that we've added, Kendall, to it, healthy weight loss. Because weight loss, when you just talk about weight loss, you get like one of two reactions. You get people going, oh, well, you got to get the right lifestyle, and that's not a problem. And then you have people going, wait a second, this is a problem all around us, and we've got to meet people where they are, and we got to do something about it. So healthy weight loss package, to me, is meeting a really big need with a little bit of structure and a little bit of organization and a special grouping of products. And so in just a minute, I want to ask Kendall. Oh, go ahead, Kendall. You
There's a lot of ways to do it unhealthily.
That's right.
Especially in this day and age, there's all kinds of ways that you can actually hurt yourself when you lose weight. So it's important to get that health first, and then losing the weight will come.
Well, that's true. I think there's a healthy way to do it. So tonight on Why Solle Works, that's our goal, is to give people a healthy way to do this. And I think it's a way that's very scalable. I can do it sort of, I guess, a little bit mildly, or I can get a lot more intense depending on my needs. But healthy weight loss is about having all the factors covered, about looking at the individual, and about getting enough information and getting education, and then having products that really deliver. So we're going to talk about our package and what's in it. And in a second, you can see a picture of it right here. I want to ask Kendall too if he has a favorite in there, because I'll tell you, I definitely have a favorite right now in this package. Now, I'm not saying it's the best product in the package, but I have a favorite that's changing how I feel. And because I realize this is part of my life as well, as much as anyone. So I'll come back and tell you my favorite, and then we'll ask Kendall what his is too. But before we go there, let's show you the pricing on the package. So here are all the items. You've got, Kendall, both Solle Complete, both flavors, right? One of each, the salted caramel, which is really, that's our code name for the natural vanilla creme. In case people wonder what natural vanilla creme is, well, it's kind of salted caramel.
Yeah.
And then there's the double Dutch cocoa. You get one of each of those. And then you get a box of Cinnamate, 2 bottles of Solfit GP, and 2 bottles of Minify, which I'm just going to tell you right now, that's my favorite right now. That's the big change I've made here in the last couple of months. And I will tell you, I Minify 2 meals a day. It has changed a lot in the way I feel and in digestion. And it's not about me, so some other time I'll share more of that. But let me tell you, it's made a big difference. Kendall, before we go any further in this, you got a favorite there right now in this package?
Cinnamate is my go-to product all around. I drink it every single day.
Okay, one Cinnamate?
One Cinnamate.
One? All right.
Sometimes I double up.
Okay, 1 or 2.
Yeah. Yesterday I did 2.
Like a second Cinnamate
No,
or
at the
a
same
double?
time.
A double Cinnamate.
Double at the same time.
You do a double. Okay.
Just like when I'm feeling a little bit yucky,
Okay.
or I got a headache, or just I just need a little extra something for the day, I'll do a double dose.
Okay. All right. So, healthy weight loss package. This is a new package. Here's the pricing. It's $227. Normally that it would be $237. So you're saving about $10. Again, the key here is that a person is able to put this on subscription, and in addition to that slight savings, that $10 savings when they buy it all together in a package, they get the subscription savings, which can be another 25% in just a few short months. If they keep these things in subscription, they can save quite a bit more. So, healthy weight loss, part of that is about sticking on this, sticking at it, giving your body a little bit of time to make that adjustment, right? To work into the weight that you're looking for. Okay, so I'm looking here. We've got a couple of interesting comments, Kendall, and then we have a special guest tonight. We're going to jump to. What do we got here over on the comment board?
Lydia says when Kendall's feeling green and grinchy, he takes it. That's right. When I'm
so true. Lydia. Yeah.
Oh.
So he doesn't feel green and grinchy too often, to be honest with you. Kendall is really easy to be around, but looks like Rosa Nunez does 1.5 Cinnamates. Somebody does a triple. Debbie, I do a triple Cinnamate. I think you might have it tonight, Debbie.
Yeah.
Debbie's triple Cinnamate. But the point about it is, that's such a good point. We use adaptogens in the formulas. One of the qualities of adaptogens is you can take as much as the need requires. So when Kendall's feeling like a double, don't feel like, should I do a double? If you're feeling like a double, that's what your body's calling for. Do the double. Mm-hmm. If Debbie's feeling like a triple, do the triple. That really is part of how we formulate, making so that you can take the amount that your body needs to meet the need. So I love that. Okay. Yeah.
Debbie says she loves everything in the package.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got some surprises for you, Debbie, and everybody's. I've seen a lot of good comments there on the package. We have Hope with us here tonight, and Kendall and I are going to turn the time to Hope for a bit, because here's a cool announcement. When you buy this package, whether you're already in Solle, whether you're brand new and you're just enrolling in Solle, you start an automatic email journey. And so that email journey is something Hope's going to show us tonight. What kind of education comes, what follow-up is part of this journey. But I will tell you one thing, just because I hope you hear it a few times tonight so that it all sticks for all of us. Part of that journey is a new weight loss guide that has been assembled and refined by Hope, and that comes as part of this journey. Now, Hope will tell you some places where you can find this weight loss guide. It's called the Healthy Weight Loss Guide. She'll tell you where you can find that as well, but it is part of the email journey. And so when you buy this package, whether you're new to Solle or whether you've been with Solle a long time, the journey begins. So with that, let's welcome Hope to Why Solle Works tonight. And Hope, we're happy to have you here. Why don't you tell us all that you have prepared?
Yeah, of course. And just a really quick, I wanted to comment on something you guys had been talking about is upping your amounts of Cinnamate. My husband, Michael, he just graduated from law school about a year ago. And during finals or anytime he was stressed, man, he was doing like 4 up to 5 cinemates a day and got him through it. He loved it. No negative side effects. He was never up the full night before. So we are a cinemate fam through and through. Love that.
Awesome. Okay, we
Um,
got 2 votes for Cinemate.
yeah. But yeah, so I wanted to start off by showing you guys this healthy weight loss guide. Like Greg said, it is kind of a mesh of the metabolic mastery guide that we had when SoulFit launched, along with the prior holistic health or holistic weight loss guide, I think is what it was called, about 2022. And so this is an updated version for this package and for anyone who's wanting to do healthy weight loss. I'm just going to run you through it really quick. You'll see in this table of contents, we'll go over understanding your metabolism. That's where we'll talk about the 10 levers of metabolism. If any of you remember that from the Metabolic Mastery Guide, we'll talk about the products to consider adding on based on your specific needs, what to do about nutrition, the role of exercise, and then we'll talk a little bit about how to track your progress. So this is just an intro page. It lays out what this guide will instruct you to do. These are the daily goals, right? You have to stick to your product protocol. You need to drink at least half your body weight in ounces of water, get at least 20 minutes of brisk walking in, and we recommend 30 minutes of strength training at least 3 times a week. I would say try and get 7K steps a day. That daily movement just really adds up in addition to the strength. It's a big thing. And then we'll talk about diet. We want you to center it around fiber and lean proteins. That is, I feel like, a lot healthier of a way than hyperfixating on exactly how many calories you're eating, right? And calories are an important part of the story, and we'll talk about that. There's a section that talks about that. But really, we want to help you understand why the foods that you're eating make an impact on your metabolism. And prioritize sleep. So those are the main things. Here's some little tips for success. And this talks about your metabolism here. I'm not going to bore you to death with all the details, but you'll see down here there's this section of 10 levers of metabolism. I like this idea. Greg and Allison and Valerie as well all have talked about this when we launched SoulFit GP. And the idea of a lever is that your metabolism isn't just some ethereal thing that you have no control over. I feel like that's how a lot of the times it's referred to. It's just like, oh, you have a high metabolism, or oh, you have a low metabolism, and there's nothing you can do about it. But we know that's not necessarily true, right? There is a genetic, and of course, like age and sex and different things like that play into it. But there are a lot of things we can do to help reset and revitalize our metabolism. Go through these 10 things, and for each one, it gives an actionable tip. So it explains what the lever is, why, and then what you can do about it. And of course, a lot of these overlap. So I don't want people to feel too overwhelmed about, oh my gosh, I have these 12 different things I need to be doing, because I would bet that your actionable tip for sugar management is also helping, plan to diet and nutrition. So they do overlap. I'll let you read them on your own time. And it brings it all together there. And then we have a section here that also introduces, for anyone who purchases the package, how it can aid natural weight loss. I feel like it's not a super clear connection for certain people, right? About like, hey, I'm taking these vitamins, but how's that going to help me lose weight? So this is about how supplementation plays such an important role in bridging that gap between what your body needs and what your daily diet is providing. And no matter, even if you have the best eating practices, you're probably not getting all of the essential vitamins, minerals, and other things that you need in your diet by no fault of your own. And so supplementation helps cover these gaps and really helps you maintain energy levels, supports cellular repair, and really keeps your metabolism running efficiently. And so it talks more about that, and it breaks down your products and gives you a recommended protocol right here. And then on the next few pages, it will go more into depth on each of the 4 products that are included into this package about why it specifically works for weight loss, as well as how to use it. So Greg briefly mentioned Cinemate. We've talked about that a little bit. For those who aren't as familiar with it, it really is amazing for curbing cravings, providing intense nutrition, and helping blood sugar. Soul Complete Protein Plus. This is our newly updated protein powder. I love this protein powder. It will talk about same thing, how to use it and why it works for weight loss. And there are so many different reasons it works for weight loss. One of the things in particular, you'll notice yerba mate is an ingredient in various of these products. And the reason for that is that it has been extensively studied for its support of healthy weight and blood sugar levels, as well as increased GLP-1 levels. And that's a really hot topic right now, but it's something that's been true forever. And it also helps give you that energy you need without all the jitters and the anxiety that comes with synthetic caffeine. Sulfit GP is another one here. Awesome ingredients into it. If you ever want to dive into its product details page on our shop page, dive into learning more about each of the ingredients in here. Grains of Paradise is kind of the star in this product, but we recommend taking 4 capsules daily for this program, 2 in the morning, kind of 2 in the afternoon as a pick-me-up. Then we have Minify. This is Greg's favorite current right now. It is your on-the-go fiber, as well as providing so much digestive aid. And so it can help increase feelings of satiety and helping those blood sugars and help you digest your foods and make sure you're really good and getting rid of what you don't need from that food. All right, then there will be a brief section called Considering Add-ons. It will go through a few of the top add-ons we would recommend if you need it. That's the asterisk next to all of this is I don't want people to feel that they have to add on to this package in order to get results. But we do recognize that everybody's unique, right? You're coming from different places because you have had different health journeys up until this point. And so each of these recommended add-ons will have a section that says when to consider it. And so people will be able to read that section and say, oh, hey, this is me. I know I struggle with hormonal imbalances. I know that's something that's playing a specific role in my metabolic health. So that's something I want to put an extra emphasis on. Of course, we know that adaptogens in general help balance your hormonal levels and your hormonal health. And so all of our products have adaptogens. And so if you're on this package, you're already going to be getting help with that, but this just really ramps it up. So that's what these add-ons are for. And you can go through and read all the different options and when you would want to consider those. Then we have this section that talks about leveraging nutrition. There is so much that could be said about nutrition. So we just strip it down to the basics. We talk about the types of foods you really want to prioritize, and we talk a little bit about what it means to go into a calorie deficit, because that's what's required to lose weight, right? While we don't want you to be overly concerned with the exact amount of calories that you're eating per day, you do need to be aware of what your caloric needs are. And here is linked a free calorie calculator. You'll also see that we recommend some apps that are just basic, like Lose It and MyFitnessPal. These will help you calculate the same thing and thus calculate goals for a weight loss deficit. It's generally recommended that you do around 500 calories from your daily needs, and it gives goals. And then we talk about macronutrients a little bit so that you can understand how to balance those in your diet. I feel like that's another word that can feel big and scary, especially when you read about people, like I count my macros. And I feel like for the longest time, I was like, what in the world are you talking about? So that will break it down for you pretty easy. And you don't need to, but if you want to, that's great. We talk about plate for weight loss, what that looks like. So what your meals should look like, filling your plate. This chart kind of lays it out for you of which portions of your plate you want to be which food groups, and gives ideas of what foods could be in each food group. Another example here. Oh, and we also have, this is a website I personally like. That's why I threw it on there. There are so many websites on the internet. The internet's wonderful. And Pinterest with free access to macro and whole food friendly recipes. This is just that I think is fun and that I use that's easy to navigate. So we didn't want to narrow it down for you and provide all these recipes, and so many other people do already. And so this is an option for places to find good recipes. Then we talk a little bit about portions. These are just easy sheets of knowing how much you're eating. I feel like that's a big part of the battle. We give where to start with your meal planning and shopping, which foods are really good options, healthy options for weight loss in each of these food groups. And we also have a list of high protein snack ideas. I feel like sometimes that can get overwhelming, but once you get into like, hey, I know these 5 are my favorites, and this is what I go to for a snack, it makes things a lot easier. We have a daily meal plan example, supplements, so it lays out for you like, hey, you wake up, you take your Cinnamate and your 2 capsules of Sulfate GP, then you'd go to breakfast, this is what your mid-morning snack could be, and down here at the bottom, it'll total up protein, fiber, and calories, right? Because those are the things you really want to focus on. Talks about the role of exercise, and here we'll talk about the importance of daily, just normal movement. So like I said at the beginning, we want to recommend at least 7K steps daily, but also strength training in particular. Especially as you age, strength training is so important, and it also helps your body composition, because your body composition is your ratio of muscle to fat. And so when that's higher, you burn more calories doing nothing, which sounds amazing, right? You want that composition to be improved, and the way you do that is in prioritizing protein, which is why we focused on those things in this guide. So it talks a little bit about all the different reasons you want to exercise and how to do that. We don't provide a laid out workout routine for you. Again, that's because that is so custom to you individually, but we do give you a few little tips here. And then we go on, we end with tracking progress and what that means and what that can look like. We do recommend people use our quiz. This is the quiz from our site. The stress quiz is kind of what we refer to it as. It's meant to give you a summary score of your stress resilience and what that looks like for different areas of your health. They recommend this as part of your weight loss journey is because, like we said, this is a healthy weight loss journey. I think a lot of people have experienced probably periods in their life where they've lost weight and it may not have been healthy. It may have been because you were super stressed and just so much going on, or maybe you weren't emotionally feeling well. And so there's a difference between just weight loss and healthy weight loss. So that's why we want you to take our quiz and really track all these other aspects of your health, because if you're doing it right, these other aspects of your health should also be improving. And it's kind of a fun non-scale way to track your progress as well, because it's not just about that number. We talk a little bit about a support system, and then we have these pages right here, this one and the next page, that you can print off if you want to, and they're progress trackers. So it'll have you add in your goals, and then weekly stats and daily stats on each of these, just to help you track what you're doing. For example, daily stats, I feel like, for example, if I print this off and like put it on my fridge or something, looking at this, if I didn't fill it in for the day or if I haven't done something, it makes me want to do it because I don't like leaving it blank or undone. So that's why we include these sheets, is for people who maybe you're like me and you like seeing what you have to do. We also have one for your daily product protocol, so you can write which products you're taking, obviously the 4 that are in this package, and then if you added any on, list out what you need to do morning through the evening. And then, there's just a conclusion page right here, but that's about it. And if you're wondering where to find this guide, it'll send out in the email that everyone will get once they purchase the guide or package. But it's also already in our Soul Content Bank. This is our main Soul Content Bank right here. You'll notice, let's say I click into English, there's a new folder that I uploaded today that's called Guides. And all brand specialists have access to this Soul Content Bank. And there's guides on lots of things in here, but you'll see we added the guide to healthy weight loss. So you would just open it up right there if specialists want to view it. For members, and I guess, for members, anyone who's not a brand specialist, it comes when you purchase the package. It's added value to your package. So if you're a specialist, we recommend encouraging your members to get it that way, because that's really what's meant for them. But we want you to have access to see what's in the guide beforehand. So you have that there. And then Greg and Kendall, if you cut me off, go ahead. But I'm going to jump right into showing the email journey that people will receive once they purchase their package. So this is email right here. It'll come soon after you purchase your package. and it says like, hey, while you're waiting for your package, access your free guide. And it gives access to that guide so that people can start looking through that and making their plans. The next email will go over all of the new products, just a quick summary so people can kind of quickly understand what they're taking and what these products are. And so it summarizes the main benefits for each product, and again, gives them the link to this guide. On the 3rd, this will come around the time that their package is arriving, hopefully. And so it sends them that daily protocol. Remember, this was also listed in the weight loss guide, and it's also on the shop page for the package, but I just want to make it as easy as possible for people to know how to take their products. So it's here in this email as well. It reminds them of their additional daily goals that they should be combining with their products, because that's our philosophy, is combining supplementation with lifestyle, all with results. And then again, gives them a guide. If you're like, why are we giving them access to the guide so much? It's because I know that people open emails and then they get lost, and then they're like, shoot, how do I access that? And you can never seem to find your emails, right? And you can never seem to find the right one. So that's why I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for them to access that additional education. This other one will talk about taking the quiz. It also comes around the time that they start their program, because we want them to get those initial results and not miss that chance to start tracking that, and encourages them to log in every 2 weeks so that they can track. Then this other email will come 2 weeks after they start as a reminder to, hey, to start the journey again. And in case they need to tailor their results or their package based on the results of the previous 2 weeks and the things they've been noticing in their body, then it gives options again about, hey, are you struggling with any of these things? These are some options that could help. And the final one is, again, a reminder, because it's been about a month, so another 2 weeks since they started, to retake the quiz so that they can really have those data points to look back on, and lets them know that really what we recommend for all nutritional changes is give it at least 90 days of consistent use, because that's about how long it takes for a lot of things in the body to reset. And so that's when you'll notice a lot of changes. And so it encourages them to repurchase if they haven't already, and reminds them that, hey, if they order it on subscription, it is huge savings. So that is everything. I feel like I've been talking for a long time, but
That's awesome.
I'm excited about it.
I love that, Hope. And Rebecca just chatted a comment in. She said, I'm a specialist, but where do I find this? So maybe just, and I don't know if you have that on your screen there.
Yeah,
If you go into your account and maybe show her where the link is on the My Account, and then and so she can see where Soul Content Bank is, because Rebecca, it is something that's where everyone's dashboard, there's a link, and maybe Hope can show us that
Here we go. I got it.
so you can see where it is.
Okay, so we're on My Account, right? And you can see there's, under this quick access bar, it's Soul Content Bank. And then this is where we keep all of our digital assets. I just click into English. Now, okay, disclaimer, I haven't uploaded this into Spanish yet, but that will come quickly. So if you're a Spanish speaker and you're like, hey, this isn't in mine, don't worry, it's coming soon. But it's a folder called Guides is what I clicked into. And then in that, you'll see lots of other guides that we have, but this is the new guide, the Guide to Healthy Weight Loss.
That's awesome, Hope. So that's perfect. So it really is right in there in My Account. I can find the link. I love the fact, I saw a couple people chat, I love the fact that you put all the guides in there. So the Healthy Weight Loss Guide is there. You know, peruse the other guides. There's a sleep guide. I know we've got some newer specialists on tonight. There's a lot of great work in there, and it's meant to do a lot of that heavy lifting, so you don't have to. It's got a lot of information in there that's useful, and I just love it. It feels very complete, the weight loss guide. I'm just wondering, Kendall, as you listen to Hope teach us all that, anything jump to mind that you wanted to comment on or ask her?
I missed, how much are we charging for this guide?
It's free.
What?
Thank you, Kendall.
What? Yeah, in fact,
People
it's
pay a lot of money, like exclusively for this sort of information. Like if I were an online health coach, I would be charging $150 for access to this guide, but we're including it free package.
very, very valuable, very good information in there. It's very well put together. I love that there's a protocol in there that kind of tells you when you can take the products to help you decide when to do that. Your email shows that as well. I think the information is all there and accessible, very, very easy to see and to get to. I love it.
I do. It's excellent stuff, Hope. And I think sometimes we are about a balance of health in both body and mind and nutrition. And really, when you think about it, weight loss and just weight in general, it really is an area of great need that we have some really fantastic answers for. So the products that we're gonna jump to the products in the package now to end Why Solle Works tonight. But without that guide and all the structure and education and information, the products just sit there. They don't get leveraged. So I echo that. That guide's worth a lot. I love that it's free to brand specialists. And I just appreciate Hope. Any final words before we let you go this evening?
No, I think maybe the last thing I would say is that, like you said, there is such a need for this. And while weight loss is not the first thing we talk about here at Solle, we talk about balancing the body and making sure you're feeling good. It is an important part of our health. And this guide was written to be scalable, like you said. So you can use these principles while you're in the middle of a more intense weight loss journey, but also apply them to just general lifestyle afterwards. These are principles that you can use throughout your life that will help you stay on track. And of course, you wouldn't be eating in a calorie deficit if you're just maintaining, but everything else applies. So it really is lifelong knowledge that you'll need.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Okay.
And Dr. Allison teaches us about the stool of health. She has a three-legged stool, and you have exercise and sleep and nutrition. And I love that in your guide we talk about those things and how important the whole your whole lifestyle is. Not just, you can't just take our nutrition, our piece of nutrition, and hope that it will do all the work. You've got to put in the work yourself.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you so much, Hope. We appreciate that. And all of this information is already in the content bank. In case you're wondering, you can go find it there. And Hope also let us know that the package, the healthy weight loss package, is live now in the system. She activated it right before we began Why Solle Works. So we want to end tonight by highlighting a little bit some of the superheroes in terms of the supplemental nutrition. The special Solle products that are part of this protocol, they can make a big difference. As Kendall said, they're not everything. If we just focus there, we might be frustrated. We've got to look at the whole picture. But they can really give us a boost and make our job a lot easier. And I think we're going to find out they can actually help make up for, let's just say, all of our imperfections maybe in eating. We don't have to be perfect. We just have to be good and put a lot of effort. And we can see results when we have good supplements. So that said, we're calling these digital sharing cards. These are also in the Solle Content Bank. So what we're going to show you now, they're in the Solle Content Bank. And so you'll be able to find them underneath the healthy weight loss file that's in the content bank. But these feature these protagonists, let's just say it that way, of the package that can help us and play such a key role. So let's take the first one. Kendall, I'm going to let you tell them a little bit. Why don't you just read for them or present this first one?
It says, I had the pizza, but the pizza didn't have me. I said this off the cuff to Greg, I don't know, 6 months ago. And he glommed onto it, wrote it down on my board, and he says, I want to do something with this someday, and today's the day.
Today's the day, because Minify, go ahead, Kendall, go ahead.
Because you get into situations in life, and this one kind of depicts that. This girl's out with friends, and they're having pizza, and she could either be like, I'm not going to have pizza with my friends, or she can. Those are her choices. But if she's got Minify, she can minify that a little bit.
Yeah, she can have the pizza, the pizza doesn't have to have her.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I love about this little saying. Minify, for me, you can minify right before. I do keep a bottle of Minify, no lie, in my car. So this poster is me because I have it with me, and I can do it right before, or for me, it's the same if I do it right after. And remember that Minify, aside from being this wonderful fiber on the go, the nature of this formula minimizes the spike effects of sugars, fats, and these things that sometimes when we eat can flood the system because of the fibers and the other ingredients, so that it doesn't shock the body and the body can process through and not absorb all of it. And so it really is, Minify's is a great tool. It's my favorite right now. We have another one, right, Kendall? Do we have two of these?
Yep.
Let's show you the other one. Kendall did this one first, and this was my favorite. I just like the look on this woman's face because it's kind of like, yeah, I had the pizza, but the pizza didn't have me. Now you could probably fill in, substitute pizza for any little cheat. But because we're not saying, we just eat whatever, but we also don't have to be miserable never having some of the fun things with Minify around. So there's our second one. And Kendall, I think these are going to show up. You'll be able to find these, as we said, in the Soul Content Bank, but they're also going to show up in social media, right, in the coming days?
Yep, we're going to post those, and so you'll be able to see those and then link to those from our stories so that you can, add your little bit to it. You can say, I love Minify, and this is one of the reasons.
We see them as conversation starters.
Yeah.
These are shareables. And I think, hopefully I think they're kind of eye-catching, and they can start a conversation with someone who can benefit, right? All right, let's look at the next one. So that's Minify. All right, what do you think of this one? We've got the beat. This is SoulFit GP. And if you can't tell, I don't know if you're watching this on your phone, probably a lot of you are, or if it's on a laptop where you have a bigger screen or an iPad. But what's in the background there is a rock concert. You've got a drummer there, and I love this one because SoulFit GP, did you know it has two different kinds of super beets in it? There's a beet extract. Beets are huge in metabolism, in energy, everything that needs to happen for cells to thrive. Beets can play a role in because they're such nourishers of what the blood is doing, bringing oxygen to the cells, bringing nutrition to the cells. And being efficient in doing that. So that's just one aspect of SoulFit GP. That's part of our healthy weight loss program. And yes, you do hear people talking about beets and how good they are for you. They're in SoulFit GP. They're part of this healthy weight loss program in spades. There is a healthy, wonderful dose of beets, and hopefully it lets you get your beet back. Kendall, any thoughts, comments about this little sharing card?
I mean, SoulFit GP is a lot more than beets, but we did choose one thing to focus on because it is one of those things that gives us the energy and the oomph to get through our life, So I love it.
Yeah, and I think in the protocol for the healthy weight loss package, I think Hope mentioned 2 times during the day we're going for the beets here. So it keeps that rhythm all day in the package. Okay, so your next shareable is we've got the beet. All right, next one, Mr. Bird.
Start me up. The idea is, also in the protocol, that's one of the first things you start your day with is cinnamate, and it's a great way to get you going in the morning for your run, and it keeps you going all day long.
Yeah, I love it. I think if you're about to do something that requires a lot of energy, I like to say this a lot in Zooms. It's not always just physical energy. If you got a big thing you got to do, I mean, Hope was talking about her husband, Michael, finishing out law school, taking the bar exam. He used cinnamate to start those brain cells going. So yeah, this picture, I love this one because this is about, I'm going to go do some activity that's more intense. and I need something to start me up, and Cinemate is fast acting. So really good. Yeah, and Lydia, somebody in there says you're a Rolling Stones fan. Yeah, you can see there are a few. We Got the Beat and Start Me Up. Yeah, there's a little bit of music in there.
Yeah, they must have
Pop
been in
music.
it.
And there's another one. We have another one on Cinemate. Let's show the other one too. I like this one because this one's kind of like, same thing, maybe it's like, I'm just getting going for the day. It's not just going after an activity now. She's going to go run too. But Cinemate, I like this picture. She has this big smile on her face. And I've had a lot of people tell me, oh, Cinemate, yeah, that's my smile in a box. There are a lot of descriptions that people use. But I think it's not just start me up with energy, but it's also start me up with a good mood. Put a smile on my face. Mm-hmm. So yeah. All right. Love this one too. Okay. What's this last one here, Kendall?
So Soul Complete is Protein Plus, and the plus is everything. Because it's all the things, there's a lot of protein powders out there, but ours is plus because it has adaptogens and so many things in there that are so much more than just a protein.
Absolutely. In fact, the protein, there's a huge amount, and it's high quality protein for sure. But it's well outnumbered by the plus. And I actually love, so when Kendall showed me this share card, I'm calling them digital share cards because to me the purpose is they're conversation starters, they're education sparks that you can post or send or do what you want with them. Use them in the way that you wish as a brand specialist so that someone can have their eyes open to how much better their life can be in a lot of different ways. And I just love this woman's expression because it's so complete. It's about fixing your gut. You feel really good there. Yes, it's about the energy. It's about feeling hydrated. So yeah, I'm not dealing with headaches. All the plus in this formula, and Kendall mentioned the adaptogens, they make it so, yes, you're getting your healthy protein, but you're also rejuvenating your whole body system and health. Mm-hmm. And so I love this one. It's a great starter for, well, why is it called So Complete Protein Plus? Mm-hmm. Well, let me tell you about the plus for a minute.
I like that you said it's a starter because every one of these is, it doesn't finish the sentence. It doesn't finish the conversation.
Yeah.
It just starts it. You're like, what? What does that mean? It doesn't tell you enough to really sell you. It just starts a conversation.
I like that. And it's true because the truth is, just looking at some of the chats here, people think different things. Mm-hmm. Like somebody else Lydia put, start me up mentally. Mm-hmm. So a little line can start people down the track that is what they're looking for. And it lets us relate to them and their unique situation. So I love these. A big hand for Kendall preparing these for us today. These are in your Soul Content Bank, and you'll see them on social media, and they're yours as brand specialists to use. And if you like them, tell us. And because you know what, Kendall he's sort of just like he's a fountain of creation. I'll put it that way. He can create a lot of different things. So we'll keep doing that if these are useful to you. And with that, I believe we've covered what we set out to do tonight with everybody. Thank you for your attendance here at Why Soul Works. We hope this education and these tools help show why soul can make such a difference. It's the combination of these products with a lot of great knowledge and experience. The new package tonight, here it is once again, the Healthy Weight Loss Package. It is something that can be definitely a life changer for anyone, and it is scalable. In fact, something we will bring in the future, we'll bring a separate guide that will be a supplemental guide for people in the situation where they've got a deadline and they need a little more intense application of this. I've got a deadline, I need to make some change. That will be something you'll see in the future, supplementing this entire package that covers the whole gamut. So with that, any parting comments, Kendall?
I like every product in this package. I and people take these products individually, but the synergy of putting these together and taking this whole package really adds more of a fuller,
like a leverage to the results.
Yeah,
It kind of
yeah.
lets you leverage it even
Yeah.
at a higher level.
Yeah, because you could take Minify by itself and get some good results. But
Right.
when you put these things together and you take them consistently, you're going to see a better. You'll have more leverage.
That's
I like
its
that word.
purpose.
Yeah.
I like that point. The purpose here is to enable successes for people. We want them to have success in their health, and success is part of the soul community. So everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. I want to thank Hope, thank Kendall as always, and we will see you. Actually, we've got another one in 2 weeks, don't we, Kendall?
Yep.
We're going to take a deep dive into those 2 bags you see at the back of the Healthy Weight Loss Package photo. We will have Dr. Allison and Valerie back to take a deep dive in some of the key ingredients that are the plus. Why is the plus everything? Well, we're going to figure that out, and we'll see it in 2 weeks on Why Solle Works. See you, everybody.